To a lot of people, Batman is the greatest superhero of all time, and it's no surprise why. He's got lots of money, he's got a cool costume, he's got a rotating roster of Robins and girlfriends. Plus, the so-called greatest superhero movie of all time is all about him. His arch nemesis is also the most famous comic book villain of all time, so yeah, his lore is pretty damn stacked. However, the main reason you'll see people choke on Batman's dick is because Bruce Wayne is just a human being. He isn't some alien or some metahuman hulked up on superpowers. He's literally just a guy who trained himself to be peak human potential just to save a city. So they say. Your Honor, I have several cases to present to reject this notion, and to prove that to continue calling Batman a human being is utterly ridiculous. First, we have the infamous case of Batman surviving a fall in Chip Zdarsky's Batman run. Now, if you don't know about this moment, you might be thinking, dude, there are plenty of times where Batman falls from a tall height and he survives. It's not that crazy. Yeah, but I'm not talking about a fall from the 2nd story or even the 10th story. I'm talking about a fall from outer fucking space. I would try to be like, yeah, I don't know if you can call that space, you know, that's basically the sky. But nope, it literally shows him falling from the outer atmosphere all the way down to Earth. Not just from the very edge of the atmosphere where planes go and shit. No, I'm not making this up, from the surface of the fucking moon. Let me clarify, Batman went from the moon down to Earth and walked it off. What? I know the Bat fans are gonna be like, dude, obviously he prepped the suit to survive in space, so duh, he's Batman, what do you expect? The only thing Batman's wearing here is a shit ton of plot armor, okay? His suit survived the icy cold vacuum of space and temperatures that will tear away spacecrafts. And somehow Mr. Freeze and Firefly is still an issue to this guy. And listen, not only does he survive this fall, but in the midst of it, his oxygen tank blows up in his face. I know there are several points throughout the sequence where I could be like, dude, you should be dead, but dude, you should be dead. I love when he's gliding down, his like cape spine should be able to hold. Cutting your body shouldn't be able to hold. And in case you missed this detail, Batman lasers off his trunks and uses it as a mask to hold his breath. Nice one, Batman. Not only did you risk looking like a total idiot upon your death, but you also got a big toasty whiff of your asshole. Dude, even if Superman got hit from the moon to Earth, he'd be like, oh geez, what's happening? But Batman's like, all right, let's go. Batman, your legs are gone, okay? No amount of armor is gonna protect you from falling straight from space into 2 inches of snow. His entire costume should be seared to his body. You know Two-Face in The Dark Knight in the hospital where he has bandages all over his burn side? Batman should be like that, but just everywhere. Like, at least show us some more suit damage. It looks like he just walked through a fire. This could have been worse if the thought boxes weren't there. I'll be honest, okay? At least we get to see what it's thinking and how his Batman pseudoscience bullshit works. And you know what? The way he gets up at the end, you can't deny that it's a very Batman thing to do. But still, I don't care if this is a comic book, okay? This is not possible for any human being. All right, second case study we have, Your Honor, is Bruce Wayne kicking a tree in half. Yeah, so, what? This is from Frank Miller's Batman Year One, which is a great book, and if you're reading it, there's a chance you'll just be like, damn, that's some sick Batman training. But if you take more than 1 second to consider what's happening on page, you might confuse Bruce Wayne for Clark Kent. First of all, Bruce, do you know how long it takes to grow a full adult tree, you spoiled little brat? That tree's either dead or it's gonna have to be Damian's turn to kick down that tree next time. And who knows what kind of cute little messages were inscribed on there. There could have been Thomas, Loveheart, Martha, and now it's all gone thanks to Bruce the Tree Killer. Actually, Bruce Wayne has had plenty of martial arts training that involves breaking blocks of wood, so this is pretty much the same thing. I don't care if you're Prime Bruce Lee the size of Prime Bruce Willis, you're not fucking kicking a tree in half like that. It's literally a pillar of solid wood. If you try kicking that, you're gonna be sent back with a mangled foot that looks like a half-eaten PB&J sandwich. Bro, if Batman kept up this same amount of strength against all his villains, Gotham will be safe and sound permanently. Yeah, Riddler, good luck setting up your riddles and your traps and shit when you can't even move your limbs from the waist down. And yes, believe it or not, this kick does actually come back later in the story, but still, doesn't stop this from being absolutely ridiculous. No human will be able to do that, okay? Batman's not a human. Your Honor, not only is his leg interchangeable with a wrecking ball, but apparently so is his face. Alright, so in Greg Capullo's Batman run, Batman faces off against members of a mind-controlled Justice League, and the fight starts with Wonder Woman attacking him. This one, there is no excuse, okay? He has no armor, he has no cowl, in fact, he has bandages around him. His fucked up. And yet Wonder Woman slams Bruce into a brick wall, leaving his face and body in a crater. 3 panels later, he's back to normal, and Batman just does his regular Batman shit. Judging from the blocks of debris poking up from where he got slammed, that is either made of brick or concrete. And the fact that he didn't get smushed into a pile of goop tells me that this guy guy is not human. Have you ever tried breaking a brick wall? Have you? I'm pretty sure if you tried throwing a bowling ball at a brick wall, the bowling ball would break. By the way, I've graciously decided to skip over the whole getting speared from behind by Wonder Woman at super speed. The guy should be dead or at least cut in half. There should have definitely been a crack onomatopoeia somewhere on that panel because Bruce 100% got some Bane flashbacks.
Oh, my back just snapped like a pack of uncooked spaghetti!
In addition, Your Honor, I must address that my case does not solely include comic pages and comic panels. We will look at other mediums too. I know we like calling the Batman 2022 a grounded interpretation of the character, but that is a complete disservice to the superhuman known as Bruce Wayne. Exhibit A, this scene. I don't know what happened during the making of the scene, but I think someone fucked up. Maybe he was meant to take a couple steps back, maybe he was meant to lift his cape up. Either way, what the fuck? This guy took a massive explosion to the face and didn't have any burn marks or anything. But yes, if you go frame by frame, you can see that he covers his entire face with his gloves. But you can perfectly align your hands to your face in a split second to make sure nothing gets into your eyes or mouth area. Surely a single piece of shrapnel would have made it through those flimsy hands of his to his eyes or mouth. Alright, fine, I'll let this one slide, but you know what I won't let slide? Exhibit B, Batman's gliding attempt. So in The Batman, we see Batman trying out his wingsuit gliding technology for the first time. And no, it doesn't go to plan because he eats some serious shit while landing. You know what, saying that he eats shit might be a bit of an understatement. He fucking dies. Aside from this camera angle that I'm pretty sure 90% of us hate by now, there's a lot to dissect about Batman's first foray into gliding. So jumping from a rooftop in the city, he's obviously diving down at ridiculous speeds. They even give us that shot from inside one of the buildings to show how fast he's going. He's heading straight under an overpass and deploys a parachute. It's pretty obvious that this was to show that Batman's still a noob and he kind of panicked here because this was not the right move. The parachute latches onto the bridge and swings him face first into a street light and some metal infrastructure. There were no hands that pop out in front of him this time, okay? He gets a fucking face full of 1,000,000 volts carefully wrapped in rusty Gotham steel. And if that wasn't bad enough, he lands on the bus, then the car, then the hard concrete ground like some bat tumbleweed. The best part of this is when he just gets up and walks away. Actually, you can see that he was hurt when he was walking away. Actually, maybe you should shut the fuck up because it's pretty much fine for the rest of the movie. He literally walks away as if he stubbed his toe on the doorframe, not as if he saw God 3 times in the last 3 seconds. Even in the shotgun scene, I can be like, well, they did shoot him in Batman's most protected area, and we did see him withstand some machine guns earlier, so you know, I can let that slide. Plus, after that, he was down and borderline dead. But this, face first into an overpass at that speed where you have 0 protection? Who are we kidding here? Good thing the guy's rich, because in America, I'm sure that if he was a regular guy, he would have taken that wingsuit another damn try after seeing the hospital bill. Your Honor, I would like to expand our case to another medium, this one being the animated show Justice League Unlimited. You see, Darkseid is considered the ultimate evil of the DC universe. He's the big bad, so they say. Only the likes of Superman can take him on in a physical fight, because Darkseid, he's basically a god. But you know who's even more of a god? Batman. Darkseid has an ability called Omega Beams, and it's basically heat vision but cooler because they can change in whatever direction and stay locked onto a single target. Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a push, sometimes it sends you centuries back in time for some reason. Anyway, the point is, this is a weapon of a god, and you have to be insanely fast to dodge these. The Flash can barely escape, Superman gets hit pretty often, but you know who doesn't get hit apparently? Batman is somehow fast enough to dodge these Omega Beams and get away. And Darkseid's like,
impressive. No one has ever avoided my Omega Beam.
yeah, well, that's a surprise considering how they seem to be shooting at a dangerous speed of 1 mile an hour. Actually, it's not a case of speed, Batman just let it hit the Parademon instead. How did it even hit the Parademon? Did we not see these Omega Beams change directions to hit Batman? The fact that Batman didn't get fucking vaporized during his little gymnastics routine is crazy enough. I mean, we're talking about something fast enough to make even the Flash break a sweat.
Never had to catch my breath before.
By the way, I'm gonna ignore the fact that before this happens, Batman's able to kick Darkseid pretty damn hard. Even if Darkseid was mid-walking and he was knocked off balance or whatever, Batman's feet should still be pieces of bone swimming in 2 fleshy sacks of skin. Your Honor, to conclude my defense, I would like to reiterate some of Batman's everyday feats that by common logic should not be achievable by human standards. Please keep in mind that he has perfected each of these skills in tandem with one another. It's not like, wow, this guy was known in history for achieving this one thing perfectly. No, it's this guy has learned this one astonishing feat and every other astonishing feat in history. First, Batman supposedly only sleeps 2 to 3 hours a day. Apparently, he's trained himself to get a full night's worth of sleep in 2 to 3 hours. I'm convinced that if the average person tried to do this in real life for a month, it would not go so well. Can you imagine trying to function not after just 1 night of 3 hours sleep, but 2 nights? Forget it, I'd just be yelling at everyone and just puking my guts out. It gets even worse because a later writer decided that Batman micro-sleeps throughout the day. Micro-sleep lasts less than 30 seconds. It's like when you drank too much and the couch starts feeling a little too comfortable. How are you gonna tell me that this shit actually helps Batman? The guy's gonna micro-sleep on the Batmobile and run over some kids on the street. Batman's been shown to bench 1,000 pounds, aka 454 kilograms. Yeah, Batman with skin-tight body fat while training for acrobatics and martial arts and all the other shit. He's stronger than this guy? Sick. Plus, no spotter around either, so we can assume that this guy's confident that he can just knock out a rep or two with ease. Not that Alfred will be able to help with spotting 1,000 pounds anyway. Sorry, you know what? Scrap this whole section. Obviously, Batman had some prep time and researched all the weak spots of this barbell. My bad, it all makes sense. So there you go, Batman's an awesome character because he's just like you, is he? You relate to him because of that, huh? Because as human, you relate to him that much more than Superman or whatever the fuck? Anyway, I'm gonna stop fostering arguments out of fictional characters because at the end of the day, who cares? Honestly, I would love to see all of these in live action. If you haven't already, I did do a video on DC moments we haven't seen in live action yet, so check that out if you haven't already. Check out my second channel, The Anday Life, for random vlogs and video. Check out my Instagram and my letterbox, and I'll see you next week. See ya.
10:15 in the open night, I can't help that I feel so lonely. How many times do I have to die?